What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to I Think. So check it out. We got some good news for you today. If you've been following the news, Governor Rick Snyder is set to be charged for his role in covering up the water crisis in Flint, Michigan. Now, this story I took a little bit personally. I have aunt who lives in Flint, Michigan. Shout out to you, Auntie V. And my heart goes out to all the black people who were stuck out there in Flint, Michigan, especially during. I mean, even till today, the water is still bad out there. So it's a really bad situation as far as the water crisis. It's very important that we keep our eye on what's going on in Flint, but really the nationwide, all of the United States. There's a lot of major cities like Baltimore, Compton. There's a lot of major cities that have bad water, lead piping, lead in the water. So it's something that we definitely need to keep our eye on. But as you can see here, it says this is according to ABC News. Former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder and others in his administration are expected to be charged for their role in the Flint water crisis. Sources confirmed to CBS News the ongoing crisis, which began in 2014, exposed residents of the majority black community to high levels of lead and was also blamed for an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease. When I heard this good news, I couldn't help but think back to when President Obama tried to cover for Governor Rick Snyder. He went to Flint, Michigan, drank the water, and said, "Oh, it's not a stunt." Check this out.
It is. There you go. Generally I have not been doing stunts here, but and
I'll digress from that point. Neither Obama nor Rick Snyder are in office anymore. So I guess it's good enough just to say it's good to see justice coming to Governor Rick Snyder. And hopefully the good people of Flint, Michigan, and all around the nation can get some clean drinking water because it's necessary and it's essential for life. Speaking of justice, about 170 people have been identified from the Capitol riots. About 70 cases have been charged, 70 people, I should say, have been charged for crimes ranging from trespassing to felony murder. I told you in my last video, these riots, these rioters, those protesters, they are taking a big L. They're going to face a lot of consequences, a lot of time for the things that they did that day, January 6, 2021. So it's good to see them coming to justice. Hey, if you stand on something, you got to stand on it, but be ready for the consequences. So it's good to see justice coming to them. Even Trump is paying a political price for his role in the riots. There's not only are they talking about impeachment, they're talking about using the 25th Amendment to kick him out. Now, let me be clear. The second impeachment doesn't really mean very much because the Senate is not going to have enough time to actually remove President Trump. I think they're in recess until the 19th, but Trump's last day is the 10th. So I don't think they're actually going to remove President Trump, but a second impeachment is very possible. And it's going to be hard for him to run again in 2024. I know a lot of his supporters are hoping that he'll make a great comeback, lay low, and the Democrats will mess it up, giving Trump an opportunity to come back and say, "Look, I told you so." But really, it's the Democrats' game to lose at this point. They have control of both the House and they will have control of the executive branch and the Senate. So at this point, anything that they want to get done, they have the opportunity to do so. It's unfortunate President-elect Joe Biden has already come out against Medicare for all. He said that if it was to pass both House and Senate, he would veto Medicare for all. And that's very disheartening because now, of all times, the Democrats actually have control of both the House and the Senate and would have an opportunity to make Medicare for all a possibility. But there's just too much Democratic resistance to Medicare for all. Nancy Pelosi is against it. She's the Speaker of the House. And President-elect Joe Biden is against it. He's the president-elect. He's going to be the president of the United States. So Medicare for all is off the table. But there are some good things that could come uh, into fruition in the not too distant future. For example, Joe Biden's already said he supports $15 minimum wage. I think that might come. He's probably going to stagger it so that like every 5 years you get $1.25 raise. So if the minimum wage now is like 7.50, depending on what state you're in, Um, I think the federal minimum wage is $77.25 or $7.50. But what they're going to do is, okay, starting next year, minimum wage is 9.25. Then the next year, 11.30. Then the next year, so they're going to stagger it over the next 5, 7 years, something like that. But I think it's pretty likely that we'll get $15 minimum wage soon. Another thing that could happen is uh, college loan forgiveness. I think that'd be awesome if they were to forgive student loans. That would be a big stimulus to the economy. Right now, they're going to need some type of stimulus because people are locked in their homes due to COVID. People are losing their jobs. They're not spending any money. They're just holding on to what we have. So the government has to encourage spending so that the market money can keep circulating across the marketplace. So one way to stimulate the economy will probably be some type of student loan forgiveness. So those are two things that I'll be looking for Joe Biden to step up against. Two things I'd be on the lookout for is war with Russia and war with Iran. Now, hate him or love him, President Donald Trump did not start any new wars. He's flirting with war with Iran, um, but I don't think he has enough time. A lot of people are worried that, oh, he might do a strike on his way out, but I don't think he's going to do that because there's so much pressure on him due to these Capitol riots. So I believe, and we'll see if I'm right, I believe that Donald Trump will leave office having decreased the threat of war with North Korea, having not started any new wars, and having to a certain extent reduced troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. I know that that last one, reducing troops, is a little bit of a misnomer because he doesn't reduce troops. What he does is he moves them. So if you're stationed in Iraq, you'll be stationed in Syria or stationed in Afghanistan. So kind of, it kind of muddies the water as far as decreasing the number of troops. I say it doesn't count until you get us out of there. You should end these illegal foreign wars. But digressing from that point, two things I'd say about Joe Biden. Two positives: look for $15 minimum wage and look for student loan forgiveness. Two negatives: look for war with Russia, look for war with Iran. We'll see if I'm right, but something to keep your eye on. All right, guys. If you got any value from this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you've watched more than one video on this channel, hit the subscribe button and be sure to hit the little bell so that you can get a notice whenever I drop a video. Usually, if you've noticed, I drop a video every Wednesday, and then I might drop 1 or 2 videos throughout the week depending on how I'm feeling. But I'm trying to get y'all some consistent videos, so every Wednesday, be on the lookout for a video. Peace. That's what I think.